number one hit album, co-authored, co-produced album on mental toughness, success mindset by Royce Smooth. All right, let's get that music down. And let's get us going over here live. All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, community. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, YouTube. We are on Think and Grow Rich. We are moving to chapter 6, imagination. This is going to be a big one. Lots of stuff underlined, some red stuff going on here. Good morning, everybody. Arizona in the house. Mark Cohen in the house. Good morning, everybody. Hey, send some wonderful energy and some prayers. And if you don't know who she is, just send some wonderful love. Say, I send you healing energy to Ruth, the universal finder. The universe knows her address. So that's kind of cool right now. So yeah, send some love and energy her way. So chapter 6, imagination, the workshop of the mind, the 5th step towards riches. Now, what I'm doing is here, we're not doing a book club. We're not just reading it. This is like the 55th time that I've read this in the last 40 years that I've had this book. This is my latest book, probably now for the last 3 years. I've been using this book. My original book's up there that I was given 40 years ago. So we're going to go a deep dive. So here's how it starts. I'm going to emphasize a lot of the stuff that I'm doing conversations on and things I've underlined. We'll go deeper into those. As a certified brain trainer, as a certified neuroencoding specialist, as a addiction to approval specialist trainer, as a self-talk trainer specialist, as a mental toughness trainer, as a hypnotherapist, I'm not just going to read this to read the book. I'm letting the book read me. When I start to underline, when you start to underline and put your notes in the book, you start to realize that the book's beginning to read you. It's beginning to awaken certain things in here. And in the beginning, in the author's preface, it says, no fewer than 100 times has the secret to success been revealed. It's about you being ready for it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Wahid, I'm looking at that. I'm always not so good at the names, the handles. So hey, it's good to see you. I'm doing well. Thanks for showing up. The imagination is literally the workshop wherein fashioned all plans created by man. So as a certified brain trainer from the Amen Institute, I want to touch there for a second. Imagination. Where does imagination happen? Happens in your brain. The challenge is if your imagination lacks. People tell me all the time, well, it's hard for me to visualize. No, it's not, because you can visualize a lot of things. You can tell me a picture about your car. You can tell me a picture about your house. That's visualization. That's you creating an image that's not necessarily in front of you. You can describe, if you walk in your front door right now, if I asked you, if you walked in your front door, what would be some of the things that you see? And you could tell me. That's visualization. You are bringing a energetic field, organizing the electrons in your brain to assemble an image of mass proportion, and then tell me about it in such a way that I could almost imagine it myself. So it says the imagination is literally the workshop. If your brain, your hardware, is not upgraded, you will have limited imagination. Wait, what? If your brain is dehydrated, which most people's brains are, if your brain is fat, which about 60% of the population have fat brains, the challenge is that you lose capability, capacity. You lose understanding. You know what they say? People who are overweight have skinny brains. It's funny how that works. Fat on the body, skinny on the brain. You have the potential. Every one of you have the potential. You want a fat brain and not PHAT. You want a FAT. So if imagination, if you are struggling with visualization, if you are struggling with dreaming up your goals, of living out your plans, imagination is key. The second part that he doesn't talk about here is upgrading the hardware. How do you upgrade the hardware? Self-talk, daily gratitude blessings, doing your journaling. Drop a J in the chat if you journal daily. Don't tell me that I used to. Daily. Do you journal? And if you do journal, how many times a day do you journal? Do you journal in the morning, in the afternoon? Do you put some notes down? So from the first sentence, we realize the value of a good fat brain. The impulse, this is what I have underlined. The impulse, the desire, is given shape, form, and action through the aid of the imagination faculty of the mind. Now, Wallace D. Wattles, right? This was 1937 published. Wallace D. Wattles, right around that time. Wattles is the science. Good morning, everybody. Wallace is the science. And Napoleon Hill was the art. That's how I describe it. Wallace said it's not about doing certain things, it's about doing things in a certain way. So you can think about your image, you can think about your goal. A lot of times we just think about the money, but we never get excited. We never let that it show up. Bob Proctor talked about vibration. What is the vibration you're currently sitting in? Because that is what you're going to receive today. Sorry to be the bearer of good news. The vibration you're sitting in right now is probably the vibration you're going to receive throughout the day. Does that make sense? Might hurt. When you understand it, when it sits with you, when it finds you, the vibration you are currently sitting in is the vibration that you're going to track later on today. This is why it's so important to start your day with a ritual that raises your vibration. That's why some people go to the gym. Who do you know? Do you know anybody who's this? Good morning. Hey, Dublin. Do you know anybody who goes to the gym first thing in the morning? Drop an FG in the chat. First thing is the gym, right? Why do they do that? They do that to raise their vibration. They do that because they need to clear their head. That's their ritual. It can be, so we're reading Think and Grow Rich. We're really doing deep dive. Hey, Dub. It can be said that man can create anything which he can imagine. All of the civilizations, that is the most favorable for development of imagination, because it is the age of rapid change. On every hand, one may contact stimuli which develop the imagination. Now, this is 1937. Of all the ages of civilization, this is the most favorable for the development of imagination. We literally have AI that can help you with your imagination. Most people are using it to fact check Google. Have you figured out a way to have it expand and create and help you develop imagination? Through the aid of his imagination faculty, man has discovered and harnessed more of nature's forces during the past 50 years than during the entire history of the human race. That statement is probably very true now. He has conquered the air so completely that the birds are a poor match for him in flying. He has harnessed the ether and made it serve as means of instantaneous communication to any part of the world. They didn't have cell phones back then, remember? they didn't. I know, Dublin. That's one of the ranch dogs here, Dublin. Good morning, buddy. He has analyzed and weighed the sun at the distance of millions of miles. It is determined through the aid of imagination, the elements of which it consists. He has discovered that his own brain, listen carefully, this is important. He has discovered that his own brain is both a broadcasting and receiving station for the vibration of thought, and he is beginning to learn how to make practical use of this discovery. So this I have underlined. He has increased the speed of locomotion until he may now travel at the speed of more than 300 miles an hour. This was back in 1937. The time will soon come when man may breakfast in New York and lunch in San Francisco. Kind of happened, hasn't it? So some of the notes I have around here. When did you discover you had imagination? Think about that for a second. When did you discover you had imagination? Look at the normal thinking that locomotion would still exist in the face of aviation. Look at how normal it was to think that operating a train, owning a train company, would compete with airline. Now it's a luxury travel, right? It's Amtrak is still around, but it's the heydays of luxury train travel, that slow travel. We don't need slow, we want fast. So in that transfer, in that upgrade, I can promise you your prospects are looking for an upgrade as well. What is the aviation equivalent you are bringing to your clients? What is the speed with which you can help them acquire their goals? That's all people want, speed. They want it speed, and when do they want it? They want it now. Speed, now. Fast, now. When can I get it? Now. Can I get it faster than now? So it's important to understand that as you begin to have conversations, and people's imaginations are very limited. Why? Because they're stuck in a rut, and they're thinking about the things they don't have. Joe Dispenza starts a lot of his presentations. How many of you believe your thoughts can influence your day? Right? If you've watched any of his videos, that's usually one of the opening comments, especially if it's an introductory presentation to sell people into his retreats. How many of you believe your thoughts can influence your day? Raise your hand. Keep your hand up if you chose the thoughts you wanted to influence your day. Most people put their hands down. That's imagination. Of the 13 principles in the book Think and Grow Rich, this is one of the most powerful. If I were to ask you to close your eyes right now, if you can do it safely, you're not doing brain surgery or rocket building or operating heavy equipment. If you could close your eyes right now and imagine your dream, what pops up on the movie screen of your mind? Is it blank? Are you trying to force words onto the screen? What is the image that shows up? You close your mind right now. What is the image that shows up? In detail, add all of the senses. What's the sounds you're hearing? What time of day is it? What season is it? What are the temperatures are you feeling on your skin? Are you inside or are you outside? What kind of lights are in the room? If you're dreaming your house, which most people want to dream of their dream house, what kind of furniture is in the room? What's on the floor? Here's an odd detail. How many outlets, how many plugins are in the room you're in? If you're in a room. If you're driving your automobile of your choice is it a convertible or is it a hardtop? Does it have a sunroof? What's the steering wheel made out of? Is it made out of burl wood? Is it made out of leather? Does it have leather wrapping? Is it cool? Do you have a heated steering wheel? Do you have heated seats, air-conditioned seats? That's a thing now. It's been for a while. If you turned on the blinker, what would it sound like? If you turned on the signal directional, click, 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 does it even make a noise? Follow me? Imagination. If I were to ask you to imagine your dream, what would show up on your theater? You sit down, imagine you're going into a private showing of your dream. Most people won't do it because we're so busy. We're so worried about everything around us. We have this stimuli. Do you realize that your eyes take in 2 million bits of information each per second? Do you realize that you take in about 20 to 25 million bits of data per second? Your heart's regulating your blood pressure and all of this stuff. You are not aware of that. You become aware of it when it's out of the norm. Your ear is listening, your ears are listening for all of the potential distractions, right? If you go to a restaurant and you hear plates drop, it may jolt you for a second, but it's not surprising because your brain plays a video, plays an audio that says, okay, we're at a restaurant. That's typical. Your brain's always looking for two things. Will this kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern? And as soon as it recognizes the pattern, you relax a little bit. But your body's already been stressed. The adrenaline has already hit the system. So imagine with all of that you've got going around, and meditation is slowing the mind. It doesn't mean you need to sit there and go, right? I don't know if you ever went to camp when you were little. I'll never forget it. Om, what a goom, Siam. And they had us all meditating that, mumbling that, Om, what a goom. And then you say it faster and faster, and it comes out to, oh, what a goose I am. That's 50 years ago. So the question then becomes, Chris Coakley in the house. If you're not following Chris Coakley, you need to. Amazing superstar, super stud of a guy, kind of like a brother from another mother. We did some work together, hand in hand, elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, in a particular company, phenomenal company. And I learned so much from him. He's a super rock star. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are doing well. Big hugs to you and continued success in all of your continued fantastic global ventures. So this idea that imagination, please be aware of the imagination that you are thinking, because here's what it said in the movie The Secret, right? What you think about and think about, you bring about. Whatever you send, whatever signal you send to your subconscious mind, it can't accept or reject the signal. It accepts, and it accepts all as true. That's why it doesn't hear the negative. I don't want to smoke. I don't want to be fat. All right. And we're all chunky monkeys. My point is, your imagination, if you learn to start to focus, to tune in, to tweak, to upgrade your imagination, you would be wise to do so. So, wow, time goes fast, and we're on the second page. So, man's only limitation within reason lies in the development and use of his imagination. He has not yet reached the apex of development in the use of his imaginative faculty. He has merely discovered that he has an imagination and has commenced to use it in an elementary way. There's two forms of imagination. We're going to go through this, and then we're going to break for the morning. The imaginative faculty functions in two forms. One is known as synthetic imagination, and the other is creative imagination. Here's the definitions by Napoleon Hill. Through this faculty, synthetic imagination, through this faculty, one may arrange old concepts, ideas, and plans into new combinations. This faculty, listen carefully, creates nothing. It merely works with the material of experience, education, and observation with which it is fed. It is a faculty used by the inventor, with the exception of the genius who draws upon the creative imagination when he cannot solve the problems through synthetic imagination. Here's the challenge. If you deal in the world of side hustle, side gig, doing a little bit extra for yourself on your own time, you are going to need creative genius. You can listen to somebody else's script. You can listen to somebody else's conversation. You can do somebody else's presentation. You are going, and it doesn't work for you because it doesn't have your signal. Your creative genius is to add your signal, to add your frequency, to add your vibration to the conversation. So that's synthetic. Here's creative imagination. Through the faculty of creative imagination, the finite mind of man has a direct communication with the infinite intelligence. This is where masterminds take on a whole new look. It is the faculty through which hunches and inspirations are received. It is by this faculty that all basic or new ideas are handed over to man. It is through this faculty and thought that vibration from the minds of others are received. Your creative imagination is the reason you pick up the phone, call your brother, your sister, your cousin, your best friend, and they say, "Oh my God, I was just thinking of you." Really? That's weird. I was thinking of you too. You literally pick up through the ether the thoughts of each other. It is through this faculty that thoughts of vibration from the minds of others are received. It is through this faculty that one individual may tune in or communicate with the subconscious minds of other men. What are you thinking? How many times, listen carefully, how many times have you ever read a text from somebody And in reading that text, you called them and said, "Hey, what's going on?" You're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What's going on? Well, I read your text. Yeah, I sent you a text. I'm fine. Yeah, something in the text didn't feel right. That's literally your creative imagination. Seeing what can't be seen, feeling what can't be seen. The creative imagination works automatically in the manner described in subsequent pages. This is underlined, circled, and highlighted. The faculty functions. This faculty functions only when the conscious mind is vibrating at an exceedingly rapid rate. As for example, when the conscious mind is stimulated through the emotion of a strong desire. We're going to end there because that's huge. That's huge. Do you understand? I hope, I'm going to see if I can do a well enough job to get you to comprehend that the faculty, this faculty, right? Imagination, creative imagination. This creative imagination functions only when picking up on the receiving of others' subconscious, functions only when the conscious mind is vibrating at an exceedingly rapid rate. As for example, when the conscious mind is stimulated through the emotion of strong desire. This is what your DMP does. When you wake up and you grab your phone and you start reading it, you have pretty much set your day for your vibration. If you can raise your energy, raise your frequency, get into the highest vibration, sit in the knowing that you are there and you're waiting for the transmutation of thought into its physical form. The reason the physical form doesn't show up is because you don't give it the vibration to start cooking. Your desire, your energy, your frequency, your emotion, your charge is the oven of transmutation so that you can pick up on signals from other subconscious minds next to you or on the other side of the planet. You can also, the energy, the desire, the frequency with which you sit is the place where the transmutation happens, where vibrational thought delivered to the infinite intelligence starts to turn into its physical form and come back to you as hunches, ideas, action steps, and physical awareness. How many of you have ever said, show me a butterfly? If you're listening, God, show me a butterfly. And the most beautiful butterfly comes and sits on your shoulder or does something like, oh my gosh, that's freaky. And we say, that's freaky. When you're in the highest state of vibration that you're capable of and continually expanding into, the universe hears you. God hears you, you hear you, and you wind up doing things better. You do what Wallace D. Waddell says. It's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. There's a conversation for this morning. I'm going to go have a little dialogue with the folks in the Zoom. If you want to join us in Zoom, you can go to unlearnme.live and join us in the Zoom for a little Q&A here for the next 20 minutes or so. If you want to take your signal test, if you really want to find out about your signal, you can go to SeanGmurphy.com, SeanGmurphy, SeanGmurphy.com/Nest and find out your signal. I don't collect your email. Only at the end. If you want some more information, will you put in your email? But you can go to the screen, go to the page. There's 4 different vibrations, 4 different signals. Read them and see which one you are now. Your signal can adapt. Your signal can adopt to your current environment. Don't go pick the one you want. Now, go take the one you are, where you currently are sitting, feeling, and that you feel connected to. And then if you want, you can go back and take the others. Again, no emails required. I love you tons. I appreciate you so very, very, very much. I hope you have an incredible day, Instagram. We'll see you where? At the next event. Thanks so much. Bye for now. All right. There we go. And share. Write a caption. Think and Grow Rich, Chapter 6, Imagination. It's not. I think and go right. I will just leave it at that and go with it. Sure. Hey, VIPers, how are you? Questions, comments, thoughts, takeaways. Zalika in the house. Good morning, AJ.
Hey, good morning, boss. How are you?
Outstanding.
Outstanding. I had to come to the grips with something last night,
Oh, here we go.
and it's interesting how you talk about exactly that today. You talked a lot about feeling today, and funny how, again, uh, very funny how Hill talks about synthetic versus creative imagination and how synthetic does absolutely nothing.
Well, it doesn't create anything. It's the combination of everything. It's still necessary. It's still needed.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
just not the
in
highest priority one for accumulation and acquiring of your mass riches.
maybe would you say certain details can go there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
you need so create so synthetic is how do you turn on your laptop to go make trades? How do you
Yeah.
do you want to do it at the lake or do you want to do it in an office? Can you do it in your car? That's synthetic. That's taking the things that already exist and just combining them.
Oh
It's
yeah. Okay.
that's kind of taking everything that's in the kitchen, all of the ingredients that are in the kitchen are synthetic. They're there. What you do with them is the creative,
Okay.
right? So meatball sauce and spaghetti, that's gonna I mean meatball sauce and noodles, that's gonna make spaghetti. There's nothing creative there. Where the creative comes in is where you add truffle sauce that you didn't normally have, or you break the recipe. Let me say it that way. So that's an easy way. Creative is when you break the recipe. Synthetic is when you're using a standard recipe, and you can the outcome is predictable.
I'm gonna do my best to be smart and say maybe that's novelty.
Novelty is
Okay.
creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Because you're activated. So the question then, you put me in a spiral, is when we talk to somebody, which imagination are we activating? If somebody says, I already know that, they're in the synthetic imagination. If somebody says, oh, is this one of those things? You have activated their synthetic imagination. There's no way you're going to talk them out of it's one of those things, right?
You'll have to put in a lot of effort and it's probably still not gonna work.
And you won't, and it's because you're trying to use your synthetic to overpower their synthetic by things like, well, do you make enough money? There's nothing creative about that. Nobody makes enough money. At least nobody I met makes enough money. So does your language, so this is turning into a prospecting conversation, which maybe or maybe not, but for the next 5 seconds, when you have a conversation with somebody, are you activating their synthetic or their creative imagination? 99% of the time, it's activating their synthetic. We go from our synthetic to their synthetic. That's why when people ask you, so what's your vision? That's creative. Nobody has a vision.
Yeah, man. Coming back to the conversation I had with Michael the other night, I
That
told
was all
him,
synthetic.
you think?
Huh? Yeah.
You think? Are you sure?
Really? I'd like to debate
Really?
that.
I'd like to think that.
What's the other one that's programmed imagination? So yeah. So back to your question. Back to your realization.
Yeah, it has a lot of to do with synthetic versus creative because last night I was at the lake alone. The owners kind of gave up at some point, probably around 9 p.m. Left me with the key, so I was sitting in there. Listen, the most beautiful night you can ever imagine.
I
Slightly chilly. It was foggy. I love fog, by the way. It was foggy, slightly chilly. Just the best time ever. And I was sitting there working. I was working with Thinking Real Rich last night. I was going through some notes. I was watching some old videos of ours, and at one point I started thinking about just me sitting right there, and I kind of left my workstation. I went outside on the front porch because they have a porch, by the way. So I went out at the porch and I was just looking at the lake. There was nobody there,
Right.
not a single person in sight. And I was just thinking how much of my, and with that being said, probably other people shared the same issue.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically that night, how much of my gratitude is synthetic?
Mm. Ooh.
With the first
Ja-
primary example,
Jacques Cousteau to the lobby. Jacques Cousteau to the lobby.
we're gonna need to clean up on aisle four, Bubba.
We're gonna need to go deep on that one. So yeah, go ahead.
How much of my gratitude is synthetic? Coming
Mm.
off, first things first,
Oof.
I went back to my time at the hospital. I was there for 3.5 months,
Yep.
and I remember this specific scene I had just come up again. I was in a room that had a view towards the freeway. So there's a
Yep.
freeway that goes directly straight through Belgrade, cutting Belgrade in half. There's a E75 freeway. I was looking at the freeway. It was probably 2, 3 p.m. ish, something like that. And I just saw people, they were just stuck in traffic. Nobody cared. They were just stuck in traffic. And I was in this room fighting for my life. And I would have given anything at that point, all the money I made, everything to be stuck in traffic and not be in this hospital room. And then I was thinking about how often do I wake up and say, thank you for being alive, primarily. And then secondly, thank you for not, with respect to people that have that, I understand it's extremely difficult to be all there, if you know what I'm trying to say. Just to have two hands and two legs up there. And I was thinking, God damn it, man, you're such an idiot that I would have given everything at that point. And you see how funny it is, how quickly we start getting things for granted again after even after such a traumatic experience, because it was extremely traumatic. And then a year and a half later, 18 months later, I'm just sitting there not caring about anything. And it got me thinking. And then as I was wrapping up the night, because I was having a meltdown, as I was wrapping up the night, I just started driving home and I sat in my car there. I went to the, so there's this grocery store right up next to the lake. They have this huge parking lot. I just went in there, shut my car off, and I'm just sitting in there and thinking, God damn it, man, what's all the things I have that I never mentioned? For instance, the car. I got a I got a beautiful BMW Series 5. How many 24-year-olds drive a BMW Series 5, even in the States, let alone in Serbia? The businesses, the investments, the ventures, the money I've already made, the experience. And then I started thinking about all of it, the good and the bad. I started thinking about me being 18 years old, waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, getting my suit on. I wore a suit for work at 18. Get my suit on, long hours, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. One time I was in the office. I was in the office for 24 hours in a 36-hour period. One time. Worked all night, came home, took a nap, went back in the office, worked all night again. And I was thinking about how much of the things I did, and this goes back to talking about the evidence file, how much of the things I did I never even think about. Never ever do I think about that. So it was a real good moment last night to kind of just sit in there and soak up everything that I did and everything that I do currently and everything that I will do. Just just went back and thought about it all, and I was like, wow, man, this is just I never think about this, and there's so much of it that it's good. And now looking at it from this perspective, even the bad times, there were good times. Because now somebody comes up to me and they say, "Oh, I worked at 8 hours a day and I'm not happy with my salary." F you, screw you. It's just so funny. And I know for sure, and I'll wrap up with this. I'll know for sure that one of the things I was most grateful for is the work I do with you and the stories I get to hear from people in this community. They share a lot, I share a lot, and I just want to thank everybody for the consistency of being here every day. So thank you, everybody.
Thank
That
you
was
for
huge for me.
thank you, because here's what Brene Brown says: your vulnerability gives us courage. Somebody hearing that this morning said, "Oh man, there's some things I've taken for granted too." We all have. We all have, because we don't have the ritual of gratitude. If we have the ritual of gratitude, we'll start with everything with this breath. And if you start with breath and life, all of a sudden, nothing else matters, because you can get through it. If you have breath and you have life, and then you have a creative imagination, you will get through everything. And here's the shocker. You are about to be challenged. All of us, when I say you editorially, you, anyone listening to this, is going to be challenged more than you've ever been challenged before, because you're going to places you've never been before, to sit in a vibration you've never had before, so that you can be in a vibration stronger than you've ever dreamed before. This is why we have to understand. You get to, but as soon as you understand, you have to understand that the thing you are seeking, number one, is seeking you. If you understood that, if you truly understood that the thing you are seeking is seeking you, it's not hiding from you. Your riches aren't hiding from you. Your wealth isn't hiding from you. Your relationships are not hiding from you. Your success is not hiding from you. Your rank advancement is not hiding from you. Your weight is not hiding from you. Your health, nothing, no thing, and nothing is hiding from you. It's not. It is seeking you. Are you willing to get into the vibration to see it? How many of you have ever been with somebody and they say, "Do you see that thing out there? Do you see it? Do you see it?" And they're like, "No." And you're like, put your finger in front of their face. And it's like, "Well, do you see it now? Do you see it now?" "No, I still don't see it." "Like right there, look at that thing." "Oh, now I see it. It was always there. It was always there. You saw it." This is why your friends, your family, your teachers, your coaches, your mentors see the things in you you can't see. And then we come up with ego edging God out, and we choose not to see the thing they see. Because if we did, then we'd have to do the thing that would require us. It's who on the way to, it's who you become on the way to your goal that allows you to receive your goal. Can't just sit and go, "Oh, I'm rich and I'm a billionaire and I'm going to have good morning trillionaires and da 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 da." Where is it? Poof. The magic is you have the ability and the knowledge and the skill and the technology to be able to go do it. So I love that. And it's okay, AJ, at some point, if you break down in a little bit of tears, because that's the second level. That's the next level of your core awakening through tears. Oh, we don't cry. I get it.
I'm not quite certain. I know what you're talking about there. I'm not uncertain.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I told Michael the other night. I told him, as far as I'm concerned, the whole thing, Bob Proctor used to say when he sat down with Ray Stanford and the guy told him about all of this, change the results and change the image and everything. And Bob said, I mean, what's it all about? And I told Michael last night, or actually the other night, I told him, as far as I'm concerned, what this is all about is a line of thought repetition to get emotion, repetition of emotions create actions, and you create results. And he was like, wow. It was like I invented Facebook in front of him. It was it was so good. So yeah, last night for me was huge, and I'm good. I'm just gonna sit this entire weekend and kind of soak that in. Actually, not kind of. I'm gonna soak that in. Thank you.
And what you'll find is that every vibration has a lesson. When you were going through all of that, there were massive teachings. The challenge is that we were getting beat up by the teacher. We couldn't hear the lesson. The lesson was in there. The lesson is always in there. And when you take time to listen for the lesson, nothing is bad. When you take time to listen for the lesson, nothing is good. Because the bad becomes amazing and the good becomes miraculous. Nothing is bad, nothing is good. Thinking makes it so. And when you take thinking out and you look at it for the lesson, when you become the reporter versus I went through that, if somebody goes through that, what's the lesson that they would learn based upon, I really know, you kind of know you, I know what I really want. I know who I am. What was that lesson wanting to teach me? Because what I think about and think about, I bring about. All of the stuff, the accident, the 3 months in the hospital, a guy dead to you for 24 hours next to you in a bag next to you, that's all you asked for. You just didn't know you asked for it. You weren't consciously aware of it.
Later on, I actually realized.
Yep.
So that happened on February 6th, 2024. Coming back October 1st, actually even before that, September, August of 2023, I was just having this huge negative emotional charge every day.
Yep.
I went up for a job in Dubai, didn't work out. I was there for a couple months, broke even, maybe even lost some money out there. Came back, there was this X situation, just not even, oh, I can hear them howling.
Yep.
That's so awesome. Is that Debbie? Yeah. Awesome.
Good morning, Debbie.
Yeah. So sum it all up, just a couple of months of this everyday constant negative charge, and simply it had to break at some point. It did, like that. I remember I was just laying out there and I was thinking, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I just want strength to go through it. And it actually turned out to be the best possible scenario I could ever imagined. And that's great. So yeah, that's huge. Thank you.
Love it. Congratulations.
Thank
Hey,
you, thank you.
Soka, good morning. Dub, 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 dub. Dubby.
Coming.
I knew.
Good morning,
Good
Sean.
morning.
How are you feeling this
Outstanding.
amazing morning, my dear? You can't even wait till I finish. And because you're so outstanding, you have to just shout it out.
That's right.
Ah, that is wonderful. I have great imagination, but can you please explain again the difference between the two imaginations that you are talking about?
Sure. So, synthetic is all of the facts of the trial. Creative is how you put the facts together to leverage, right? Because a fact is a fact. Sometimes you can leverage it for your particular client. That's the creative. When you have a conversation with somebody about travel is a huge, easily understood conversation. What I mean by that is people travel, they consider travel going to work every day. I travel to work every day. When you say I'm part of a unique global travel company, they're synthetic. Their synthetic can only think of them traveling to work. They can only think of the last time they went to go see their friend and they got 4 cancellations and flight delays, and it cost more than they thought, and they charged an extra $70 for their bag because it was overweight. That's their synthetic imagination. They can only imagine what they can think of. Synthetic imagination is everything about what they've already done as it relates to the topic. You talk about wellness companies. People think if they're overweight and they need to lose some weight and they want to lose some weight, they think, well, I've tried to lose weight 1,000 times. This isn't work. Synthetic is your history of awareness. When you have a conversation with somebody, if you want them to be inspired and be excited about your opportunity, it's critical to activate the creative imagination. The challenge is that most people already have a pre-programmed response locked in with objections or protection levers like, that's too much. I don't have any money. I don't have any time. I'm too busy right now. That's their synthetic imagination. Our goal is we know their synthetic imagination is going to be activated. How do we activate their creative imagination? What would be your criteria for a 5-star trip? Well, I don't know. I know you don't know, but if you did know, what would it be? People want to refuse to activate their because their brain literally, that what they're doing is their brain is protecting itself because thinking consumes so much energy that maybe they don't have enough energy to think. That's what the brain, well, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. If somebody says, I don't know, you're asking them to activate their creative energy, their creative imagination. And it's just easier to say, I don't know. So that's the difference. Difference is the history, everything that's already happened in their mind, their past, and creative is everything that could possibly happen, their futuring possibilities. And we activate their synthetic, thinking we're talking to their creative, and we ain't. And that's why there's this disconnect. That's why we say things like, God, this would be so good for them. And we blame them for not doing it when it was us who activated their resistance, their limited, their stuck in the box, their comfort zone thinking. I didn't mean to do that. No, I get it. But it's real easy to do.
So how can we not do that? That would be the question.
Ask them questions. We
Right.
want to tell facts. We want to show how good we've learned, how much we've learned. We want to tell facts. We want to tell stories. My company's 7 years old. Who cares? Why not ask a question? Hey, what would be a good age of a company? If you were going to start a business, how old would you want the company you're going to go participate with? How old would you want that company to be? Is it okay if it's 2 months old? Well, no. I'd want it to be a couple of years old. How many? 5. Awesome. If I showed you a company that's 7 years old, would that be okay? Yeah. Nobody cares your company's 7. Nobody cares the company's 25 years old, 35 years old. Right? We just had Modera. I don't know how many years it was in business, but I know it was more than 5. It was, I think, more than 10.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it's silly when people look at that, but
Well,
people
okay.
look at different things because they hear
Sure.
different things. And you're right. I mean, we come from whatever it is we know or our background.
Yeah.
But anytime I hear imagination, yes, certainly you're right, because people can only have the imagination that
it's not
they
really
allow themselves to have because of their background and of how they live.
Very few people have imagination. They have instant recall, which sounds like imagination. But they have instant recall of the pain and suffering and the challenging. That's not imagination.
No.
That's synthetic imagination. It's really not imagination. You create nothing new. Right? And all they're doing is their synthetic imagination says, I failed at that one. I must fail. I probably will fail at this one. You've created nothing new. So we have to ask questions. When the brain is asked a question, it's got to go find the answer, which is why people say, I don't know, because they don't want to go find the answer. That's the first time you're getting them to think, and 1% think, 2% think, they think the other 97% would rather die than think. So you're forcing them into an elite group of thinkers, even if it's temporary. You have to ask questions.
So if they don't want to think, then they just stop showing up.
Yeah. Yep.
Or they don't want to change what they imagine to be their
Well, no, they
reality. So
haven't.
the reality, you basically call the synthetic the reality in their brain.
Right. And so the challenge is that, and if we break their synthetic thinking, they got to have a story that's worth it. They got to have a worth it story. That's why we talk about network marketing. What's your why? Your why's got to make you cry. Yeah, it should, but not in front of everybody. That's a whole nother issue. The why has to be important enough to go do something you've never done so you can have something you've never had, which causes you to think a way you've never thought and feel a way you've never felt. That's a recipe for synthetic disaster. When you activate the creative imagination, you're going to tell somebody, you're going to suggest to them, think a way you've never thought, which causes you to feel a way you've never felt.
And they're like, well, how am I supposed to think the way I never thought? I don't know how to do that, right?
Well,
Is that what
would you
they
like
think?
to? Would you like to start?
Yes.
So then my next question is tell me a trip. Tell me, if I was talking in your business model, what's a trip that you always wish you could go on, but you thought you never had enough time or money? Oh, well, no, come on. If travel is one of your gigs, one of your things, one of the things you dream about, if you search the internet out for travel locations, there's a trip you've got in mind. You're even afraid to tell somebody. Now you got them thinking. Now you take them out of the past. My goal is to have a conversation with you about, don't tell me where you've been, tell me where you're going. And so I'm going to have a conversation about where you're going. I'm on a small talk diet because everywhere you've been is small talk to me. Everything you've done is small talk to me. You've had trauma, you've had tragedy. I get it. We can work through that. That's understandable. But what trauma and tragedy, if I'm talking to somebody and they were molested as a child or this, that, or the other, that signal will appear. That's easy enough for me to pick up. That's easy enough to pick up on some kind of trauma or tragedy that's got them stuck. They want to go forward, but they're literally chained to that environment. We can break that. That's easy enough to break. The question is that can we have a conversation that stretches the train to the point of breaking? People don't want to break their chains. It's called a comfort zone. It's literally the pain zone they become comfortable with. And we can't say, oh, well, you're just in the pain zone. Why are you limiting your life? That's activating synthetic energy, the synthetic imagination. We've got to activate creative in the only way you can activate the creative is to either put them in the environment, right? Joe Dispenza, your personal reality makes up your personality, or ask them questions. What would better look like? Tell me what better would look like. Tell me what better would feel like. Oh, I don't know. I know you don't know, but what if you had a choice, if you could wave the magic wand? See, we're afraid to ask the question twice, 3 times, 4 times. That's a fascinating answer. I love that answer. I wish I'd asked that question, but that's not the question I asked. That's not the answer to the question I asked.
You're funny about that. I love it because yes, you're right. When you really pay attention to what people I asked this person was telling me or was telling us, I wasn't the only one on the call, but was saying, oh, he's so excited, he wants to travel. And I said, well, where do you want to go first? Well, I want to go everywhere. Well, well, where and I didn't say that wasn't my question. My question, where do you want to go first? You said you have a long list. I mean, where do you want to go first? I mean, it was difficult, and I would have certainly probably not pushed like that if it wasn't for what I've learned with you, because he seemed to have a difficult time to even think where he would want to go first. I mean, to me, that's kind of bizarre. I can tell you what's on the top of my list and where I want to go first, without even having to think about it. So when somebody says, "Hey, oh, I want to go all these places. I want to, I want to travel," and that, and they can't even tell me where they want to go first. I mean, that's kind of the synthetic, I guess, imagination, right?
Right. And so a couple of things when somebody says something like that, again, you're learning how my brain works and it's odd. I would say, so where's the last? Somebody says, I want to go everywhere. Well, where would you want to go first? I want to go everywhere. Well, where's the last place you want to go? Where's the place that you're like, man, I'm glad I saved that for last. And their brain just literally implodes. Well, nobody else. No, that's again, it's novelty. As AJ said, when we activate the synthetic, we're using novelty to activate the synthetic, things they've never heard before.
Yes, I wasn't thinking about
And
that.
that's okay. And so that, and again, because when you get in, we call it the default mode network. When we talk about brain psychology, we talk about the default mode network. The default mode network is where we run to when we're challenged, where we run to when we're stressed, where we run to when we're happy. We run to this place because we're about to experience a wide range of emotion. We got to go to our safe place, which is our default mode network, which is our synthetic. It's not our creative. If people understood that they could manifest just as fast from being absolutely ticked off to high heaven and back, when you're in the most miserable, frustrated, aggravated, highly intentional, highly just, oh, I want them dead, you can manifest as much as you can from when you're in a highest state. If people understood that, because most people are easier to get more mad than they are to get more happy, people would have everything they wanted in record time if they truly understood that it's emotion that manifests, right? Napoleon Hill never said it was a positive emotion, a positive energy. He just said when they have a strong energy of desire. When you're mad as hell, you have a desire to want to go kill somebody. That is a strong desire. It doesn't matter positive or negative. We finally have to have this strong desire. And from there we can manifest. The challenge is that we're usually birds of a feather flock together. When we're mad, we focus on mad stuff. When we're happy, we focus on happy stuff. We go, I got to get happy. I got to get happy. Sometimes you need to get as mad as hell and you can get some good things happen to you.
Oh yeah, I think sometimes that moves people
Yep.
when they get angry. Yes, I totally agree with that. But
So, and that's
that same
partially
that
activating
same
their synthetic. That's activating their creative. Mad is when people start to think of different things.
so how would you get the person mad, I guess? Maybe
So
that's what, because this very same person, it tells us every week he's gonna sign up, and
awesome.
he doesn't.
So I would say, hey, listen, so who are you afraid is going to get mad at you for signing up? Because you're trying to keep it a secret. You keep telling us, but nobody else in the world's going to know. So I'm just curious who's going to be mad that you're signing up.
That's an interesting question.
Well, what do you mean? Who's going to be mad? Well, you keep telling us you're going to sign up every week, and so evidently somebody's threatened you that if you sign up, they're going to hurt you. Who's that person? Because maybe I need to come take them out.
Oh my God, you make me laugh sometimes.
Because I want you to live your dreams. You want to live your dreams, don't you? Yes. Well, then somebody have you hostage when you get off this call. Do they lock you up and keep you from signing up? Who is that? Let me know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's bizarre. That's not true. It's novelty because you're calling them out without saying what you lie. You keep lying. So rather than keep lying, somebody's making you not take action. And I want to know who. Do you get kidnapped when you get off this call?
Oh my God. You're worse. You're worse, millions.
So
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. That makes sense. Yes, I'm going to use some strange things with people.
yep.
Not sure if that will,
Well,
we will see.
the other thing that you could use is when somebody says I want to travel everywhere. So you like riding elephants? What? Because you've been on an elephant ride, Silke.
Yes.
Yeah. So just when somebody throws out that, you've got to break their pattern. They have given. See, when somebody says I want to travel everywhere, nobody's got a response to that. Oh wow, this person is a dreamer. No, they're not a dreamer. They've got a sentence they say that shuts you up.
Yeah,
They've done.
he didn't like that I was keep pushing.
Well, the question is, so then you've got to ask them, so you love riding elephants? Well, I don't know. I guess I've never ridden an elephant. Ooh, would you like to go where you can ride elephants?
Mhm.
Here's what I've learned in my 60 years of having conversations with people. The thing they say isn't what they mean to say. Ever. ever. It's what's behind that is what they hope you don't find. Especially when you're in a sales situation, people are really saying, I need help. I used to, my dad, when I went to do my first sales call live in our training group with my dad in a professional setting, I said, he said, all right, make believe I'm the customer. Hey, what do you need help with today? He says, I don't need any help. Get the hell out of my office. I meant it as a way of really, but who's going to admit they want help? That's when I learned. I was 14 when I did that in front of everybody. My dad just griddled me. Nobody wants help. Nobody wants help. Nobody wants to admit help. You ask for help, you're a loser, you're weak, you're this, you're that, you're whatever you were taught by your brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, mom, dad. Nobody asks for help. Nobody knows how to ask for help in a way that inspires other people to want to help, because people, hey, listen, could you help me move? They're always asking you to do the absolutely crappiest stuff. And so you avoid them. You don't even want to see him at a party. If I go there, he's going to ask me for something. We call it asking for something, not they want my help. Oh, they're always asking for something. Those are the negative things, the negative situations where people are asking you for, they're asking me for money. No, they're asking for help. Yeah, but they're always asking for something. So who the hell wants to ask for help when they need it?
Well, even when I send a message and I ask people, how can I be of best service to you today? They find that very odd.
Well, they find it very offensive because they haven't asked you for service. When I say that, I'm sitting across the table from somebody who wants to join me in business or learn about my business.
Well, when they friend me, I want to make sure that I'm thinking that they're friending me because they're interested in my business or my services
Yeah, they
that
don't
I
even
offer.
know. They don't even know what you do.
Well, they can see on Facebook.
Well, but they're not. Nobody's looking. You don't look. You don't go check on people what they're doing. Why would they look?
Well, why would they friend me?
Yeah, because they want to get a number. I want to have 5,000 friends. I want to max out Facebook.
Well, that's very silly. So those are not the kind of people I want.
Well,
so
but maybe they are. My question to somebody who friended me, hey, I love connecting with new people. What's a dream you have in the next 7 days, 30 days that I might be able to share some resources with for you to make come true?
Oh, that's a very wonderful thing to say.
Now, if I can tell, right, one of the things that I have happen a lot now is somebody will give me a false text message. The dress is ready. You can pick it up on Tuesday. And it's a 501 area code.
Oh.
Right, which is my area code.
Yes.
I'll say, man, I'm so excited the dress is going to be ready. Should I come down and do we need to do a last trial fitting? They don't know what to say. Because they know they're a scammer and they know that this is, oh, you got the wrong number. Oh, and then they want to do the apology approach. Oh, I'm so sorry. I must have misdialed the phone number. I'm so sorry. Where are you at? The frick do you care where I'm at if you misdialed the phone number, you nut job?
Yes, I have gotten those before too.
Yeah. So yes. I play along with it if I'm not engaged in something. So I'll have some fun.
I do that too sometimes.
So there you go.
I get a lot of those, but
so
yeah.
That's the difference between synthetic and creative imagination.
Well, thank you. I have, well, where did you go? Are you still there?
I'm still here.
Well, that's so weird. I don't know. I can't see anything anymore suddenly. Well, can you still see me? I can hear you, but
I see your picture, but I don't. Yeah.
Well, that's good because I'm not wanting to turn on my camera as I'm not very presentable this early in the morning.
Thank you for thinking of all of us.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That's most important. I don't want everybody to jump off and run for the hills. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Love it, love it, love it. And y'all send some love to Ruth. She's got some health issues she's working on and fixing, and so
yes, she told me yesterday. I spoke to her yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, so
Ah.
send her some love and healing and some light and all of that good stuff. So
Maybe we can. I don't know why she can't fix herself. I didn't ask her that, but you know, she
well,
does
the
the
DIY again,
healing.
it just proves the DIY method. It's easier for us to help others than it is for us to help ourselves.
So the Reiki doesn't work on yourself,
Oh,
only
it
on
does.
others.
It does. It's again, this is how important synthetic, I'm sorry, this is how important signal is. If you believe that if you help yourself, that's selfish. Most people are wired that way. Well, if I do that for me, I'll do it for others, right? You ask somebody who wants to join a network marketing company, who do you want to win for? Because nobody wants to win for themselves. They want to win for their kids, their daughters, their moms, their dads, their dog, their grandkids. Very rarely does somebody go, I want it all myself. And if they do that, then it's a very selfish signal. I understand that if I have more, I can give more. I understand that if I build a business of people, I can change the world. Most people don't have that vision. I want to build a global business. Yes. For what reason? Because I want to help the single mom 7 levels from me who I'll never get a chance to meet except in an event, maybe one day. And she'll come up to me and say, you've changed my life. And then I get to hug her and we get to cry and we get to feel good. And then I can remind her, I had nothing to do with that. You did it all. I want you to accept that you did it all. I offered you the opportunity. This is where Napoleon Hill talked about yesterday. Can you be seen, or 2 days ago, can you be seen by your opportunity? Most people aren't being seen by their opportunity. They can see the opportunity, but the opportunity can't see them because you're not doing the work. So that's why people join us in business. Oh man, I see the opportunity. I see it. Will you do the work so the opportunity can find you? Oh, what does that mean? Will you do the posting? Will you ask people to raise their hand and say, hey, listen, do you want to join me in business? Oh, well, I don't want to do that. Well, that's being seen by the opportunity. Most people never want to be seen by the opportunity.
That's a good point.
Oh, well, I'm doing the posts. No, you're not. It's your signal is way off. You're not even, the opportunity can't even find you. It's like, I want to do what? I can't understand you. I want to do. That's how most people's lives are. They're running around. They'll every now and then, I want that. And then when they go to talk to that, it's like a McDonald's speaker. Large fries, $17.95. The price is always clear, right? $17.95. What did I order? $17.95. So we have what we want to focus on, which is what people, time and money, those are the 2 big protection levers. People know that very clear. Well, time and money is available to everybody. It's infinitely available to everybody. Infinitely available. What you do with it is why you don't have time and why you don't have money. The universal, the most maximum benefit of time and money is available. Infinite time and infinite money is available in every second. It's what you do in that second that limits what you get. That's it.
Wow. Yeah.
So so when somebody says, man, I see the opportunity. Awesome. Are you willing for the opportunity to see you? And watch their head explode. What do you mean by that? Well, in order to be seen by the opportunity, in order for the company to send you a check, they need your address, don't they? They need your routing information. They need your bank information. Are you willing to be seen by the opportunity? I know you see the opportunity. Are you going to let it see you? What do you mean? Well, you got to get started. What does getting started look like?
Yeah, and people have all kinds of excuses for that.
Well,
Like I had a lady tell me, well, I reached out to people and I sent them the information, but now I need to follow up. That's a lot of work. I was like, I mean,
so my question would always be compared to what?
well, she says she's very busy, but she needs money. So whatever she's busy with is not making her an income.
Awesome.
Which,
What other opportunities do you have where you can follow up with people and get paid?
oh my God, you are like, yes, I still like to chip your brain
Well,
because
I mean, I don't have any. So would it be valuable to learn how to follow up here so that you could get paid? Because I'm sure you're following up with people on a variety of things. This one could pay you to follow up. Is it okay if you get paid to follow up?
wow.
Yes. And if you know that you can get paid by following up in this business model, and there's another business model you can follow up in and not get paid, which one would you do? The one to get paid or the one not to get paid? I'm not asking which one's easier, because the one to not get paid is easier because you don't have to ask people for money. This one you're asking people, but is it okay if you get paid to follow up? If you're going to be busy, is it okay to be paid while you're being busy?
Well, I have just learned a lot this morning.
I love it.
Yes, me too. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I love you tons. Zalika, always good to see you. Big hugs to you, my dear. And I'm your head brain training, brain scrambling. Let's go activate the creative imagination. I'll see y'all where?
The next event.
Next
The next
event.
event. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura vida.
Aloha.
Vida, we love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with us.
Peace be with us all. And the queen of helping you find the creative side to you, Jessie Lee Ward.
Bossly.
Boss Lee, we love you, girl. And a little white fluffy.
Gurgly, gurgly, gurgly.
Gurgly. All right, everybody, go have some fun. We're in a war for our brain. Battle up, suit up. We'll see you all. Tomorrow morning. We're doing tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central. It's Saturday. Yep. Love you tons.
Thank you, family. Thank you,
Thank
Sean.
you, John. Love you all. Have a great day.
Thank
It's
you.
the most expensive real estate in the known universe. Yet few of us choose to live there. The latest software can't work.